But anyways, I'll try to do as much detail as I can here on TikTok. So in the letter, it just says, to whom it may concern, I am filing the enclosed form I-130 petition on behalf of my husband, and the beneficiary is myself. No, he's the beneficiary and myself as a U.S. citizen petitioner. Okay. And then I just list all the stuff that I included. The following documents accompany and support this petition are as followed. And the very first one was a money order for the filing fee. Right now, this form is up to $675, and I think it's $625 if you submit it online. So keep that in mind. At the time, there wasn't an online option. So, of course, the second item was the Form I-130, which is the actual petition, the Form I-130A, which is supplemental information for spouse beneficiary for the beneficiary, which was like my income and stuff like that. And if you like, again, on my YouTube, I'm going to go through the entire form. And I included an amendment explaining details of each form. So there were some spots that were blank, either because it didn't apply to us or because we didn't have that information. So if you come across a situation like that, just create an amendment and just be like, question 3A, it is blank because whatever the case may be, whatever your reason is. You have to include 2 photos of the petitioner and 2 photos of the beneficiary. They do have to be like little passport photos. I had to submit the petitioners, which is myself, birth certificate, passport, and driver's license, the beneficiary's birth certificate and international ID. So that was my husband's. We had to submit our marriage certificate, and I submitted the receipt for the license. I don't know if it was needed, but I did. And then I also submitted a U.S. birth certificate for my daughter and for our son together, because we have our son and our daughter together. I submitted a few of our Facebook messages, even WhatsApp messages, anything that shows that we have been in a relationship for as long as we say we are. Since a lot of our communication was through Facebook or WhatsApp, it was just easier to print those out and submit those. Now, I also did money transfers to my husband because he was a stay-at-home dad and I was the one working here in the States. So I would send money for us to pay for like our house over there and everything. So I would send copies of all my money transfers from petitioner to beneficiary, any evidence to prove a bona fide marriage. Now, with this one, I had each one of my children submit a letter and, just explaining the relationship with my husband. And I also submitted tons and tons of pictures from the very beginning of our relationship to the very end. I even submitted a photo that we were both tagged in by his friend, just to show proof that back in so and so we were together. And then again, evidence of our 4 years and 2-month relationship at the time. So it was just pretty much anything that you can prove that your marriage is 100% authentic. So it can be trips, it can be receipts. I've seen people send receipts of like trips that they've done together, like airplane photos. I think photos is really huge, really huge. I had photos of where he was with my family, photos where I was with his family, and anything that you can possibly think of to prove your marriage, because this form is to prove the petitioner's income, because of course we have to prove that we can support our spouse, the person we're petitioning for, and it was to prove the relationship that my husband and I had. So of course, if it has to do with a relative, which is your brother, sister, whatever, of course you're gonna have to submit like pictures and stuff like that. So that was for my I-130. I do want to do a translation